The moment my mother's coffin hit the bottom of the grave, the gravedigger froze, then crooked his finger at me. "Ma'am, your mom paid me to bury an empty coffin." For a second, the world tilted. Wind cut through the cemetery, lifting the black veil off my face as if to expose my shock. I swallowed, forcing a weak smile. "Stop fooling around." He didn't smile back. Instead, he pressed a cold metal key into my palm and whispered, "Don't go home. Go to Unit 16, right now." My breath hitched. Because why did that name, Unit 16, sound familiar? Before I could ask another question, my phone vibrated in my hand. A new message appeared. From Mom. A message sent today. "Come home alone." My name is Avery Quinn, 27, and I thought burying my mother was the only heartbreak I'd endure today. We'd had a complicated relationship, tender one day, distant the next, but she was still my anchor. I believed she died quietly in a hospital bed last week. I believed she left this world peacefully. But as I stared at that key, my stomach tightened, because whatever waited in Unit 16 felt like the truth she died trying to hide. And when I finally reached Unit 16, I found Unit 16 wasn't a house. It wasn't even part of a residential block like I expected. It was a rusted storage facility on the far edge of town, the kind people only visit when they want something forgotten. The metal corridors hummed with old fluorescent lights, each flicker tightening the knot in my chest. My mother, my quiet, church-going, predictable mother, left me a key to this. As I walked down the narrow hallway, my heels echoed in uneven clicks. My childhood replayed behind my eyes. Mom working late. Mom always locking drawers. Mom warning me not to trust certain people without ever saying who. And then, Mom's sudden death. Closed casket. Hospice paperwork that looked rushed. No explanation from doctors besides organ failure. But something had always felt staged. I reached the door labeled 16. Dust coated the handle like no one had touched it in years. I hesitated before slipping the key in. My hand trembled harder the closer it turned. Why would Mom send a message the day she was buried? Why would she hide anything here? And who was she hiding it from? As the lock clicked open, a warm draft brushed against my legs, as if something alive was moving inside. I pushed the door open slowly, and what I saw made my throat close. The light inside Unit 16 flickered once, then stabilized, revealing a small room that didn't look like storage at all. It looked lived in. A neatly made cot. Half-empty water bottles. A coat I recognized, Mom's deep navy winter coat, draped over a chair. And on the far wall, a bulletin board covered in photos, all of me. Every birthday. Every school event. Even the ones I never posted online. My breath stuttered. Someone had been watching me. Closely. Intimately. For years. I stepped farther inside, my fingers brushing the edge of the cot. It was warm, meaning someone had been here recently. On the small metal table lay a stack of envelopes, each marked with a date. The top one was stamped yesterday. I picked it up, my hands trembling as I slid the letter out. "Averly," it began. "If you're reading this, it means I didn't die the way they wanted you to believe." I felt my entire body go cold.
Who were they?
Suddenly, footsteps echoed faintly from outside the corridor, slow, deliberate, approaching Unit 16. Someone else knew I was here. Someone who wasn't supposed to. I turned toward the doorway, heart pounding, as a shadow stretched across the floor. The shadow elongated across the dusty concrete, slow and predatory. I backed up instinctively until my spine hit the bulletin board, photos of my own life brushing against my shoulders. My pulse hammered so loudly it drowned out my breathing. Then the figure stepped into view. My Uncle Ray. The man who cried the loudest at Mom's funeral. The one who hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. "Averly," he said softly, as if we were sharing a tender family moment. "You shouldn't be here." My nails dug into my palms. "How did you know I'd come?" He smirked. "Because your mother always underestimated you." "I never did." His gaze drifted around the room, landing on the cot, the envelopes, the photos. My chest tightened. "So it was you. I whispered. You were watching me. He chuckled low and amused. You think I waste time on you?
No.
That was her. She stayed hidden here for months, maybe longer. Paranoid. Always writing letters she'd never send. He stepped toward me, and my throat closed. She wasn't sick, Averly. She was running. Running from what? My voice cracked. He tilted his head, eyes gleaming with something dark. From the truth. From us. My stomach dropped. Then he added one more thing, soft, lethal. And now, so should you. Before I could react, he reached behind his back, and I saw the glint of metal. The metallic glint snapped something awake inside me. Fight, not freeze. I darted sideways just as Uncle Ray lunged, the blade in his hand catching the light. It sliced the sleeve of my coat instead of my skin. My heartbeat roared in my ears as I stumbled behind the cot, grabbing the metal frame for balance. Stop running, he hissed. You're just making this harder. I forced myself to breathe, just once, just enough to think. Mom had lived here, hidden here, for months. From him. From whoever us meant. Which meant she must have prepared contingencies, ways to stay ahead. My gaze landed on the stack of envelopes again, one peeking out from beneath the cot, marked with today's date. My fingers shook as I grabbed it and tore it open. Inside was a short, frantic note. If Ray finds you, don't fight. Outsmart him. There's a camera in the vent recording everything. Make him talk. My chest tightened. Mom had known this moment would come. Ray circled the cot like a wolf. She filled your head with nonsense. That woman was losing her mind. But now I had something he didn't know. I wasn't fighting for my life. I was building a trap. Slowly, I lifted my chin and met his eyes. Then why, I said evenly. Was she so scared of you? His expression flickered. Just enough for me to push harder. Ray's face twitched, barely but enough. I stepped out from behind the cot, slowly, carefully, as if surrendering, exactly how Mom's letter told me not to fight. He relaxed fractionally, mistaking strategy for fear. Good. Tell me the truth, I said, voice trembling just enough to bait him. Why was she hiding from you? From the family? What did you do to her? He scoffed, lowering the knife slightly. Your mother was never who you thought she was. She kept records, bank logs, documents, videos. She threatened to expose everything we built. We, I echoed. He hesitated, then pride won over caution. Your uncles, your cousins, all of us. We funneled money for years. Offshore accounts, fake invoices. Your mother handled the books until she decided she wanted to make things right. He sneered. She tried to ruin us. Every word spilled out of him, thick with ego. And every second, the vent camera hummed quietly above us, recording. She planned to go to the police, Averly. That's why we staged her death. My breath hitched. So she's dead? His jaw flexed. Let's just say she won't be found. He raised the knife again, stepping closer. But you? You came looking. And that makes you a problem too. I backed up slowly, leading him exactly where the camera had the clearest view. Then I whispered, I'm not the one who's going to disappear tonight. Ray stopped mid-step, the knife hovering between us. Something in my voice, the steadiness, finally made him look closer. What did you do? He growled. I lifted my chin. Nothing. Yet. But my mom? She planned for this. She recorded everything, including what you just confessed. His eyes shot upward to the vent. Too late. He lunged toward it, but I moved faster, grabbing the metal chair and slamming it between us. The knife clattered to the floor, scraping across concrete. Ray cursed, shoving the chair aside, but the momentary delay was all I needed. I kicked the knife toward the far wall and sprinted for the door. He caught my arm. Hard. Pain shot up my shoulder as he spun me back toward him, his breath hot and furious. You think a little video scares me? I'll burn this place to the ground before anyone sees it. I forced myself to meet his eyes. Someone already saw it. For the first time, true panic flickered across his face. Because while he'd been ranting, the tiny LED on the vent camera blinked red, the automatic upload signal. That camera streams to a cloud my mother set up, I said, breath trembling. And it sends alerts. Alerts to who? He barked. I swallowed hard. To the one person you never expected to turn on you. His grip loosened, just as a voice echoed from behind him. Let her go, Ray. Ray froze, because the voice behind him wasn't a cop, wasn't a stranger. It was my mother's voice. She stepped into the doorway, alive, thinner, bruised, but standing. Ray stumbled back as if he'd seen a ghost. You were supposed to
Die.
Mom finished, her tone icy.
Yes.
That was the plan, wasn't it? But you've always underestimated me, Ray. He looked between us, panic stretching across his face. You don't understand. If this gets out. It already has, Mom said. The camera uploaded to the investigators I hired months ago. They're listening right now. As if on cue, sirens wailed outside the metal facility. Ray bolted for the back exit, but Mom moved faster than I'd seen her move in years, slamming the door shut and trapping him inside. He pounded on it uselessly as red and blue lights washed across the unit walls. I stepped closer to her. Mom, why didn't you tell me? Tears shimmered in her eyes. Because the less you knew, the safer you were. I needed you far away from him, from all of them. Police stormed in, pinning Ray to the floor. He screamed my mother's name, but she didn't look at him. Not once. She turned to me instead. Her voice soft. Steady. It's over now, Averly. You're free. Outside, as dawn broke over the storage lot, she finally took my hand. And after months of fear and lies, I felt it, the truth settling. I hadn't lost my mother. I'd finally found her.